one out. Should be fine. The cast was rated R for Renzo? No, the cast is rated M for Michael now, though, since he is here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You want to go that way? We can go that way.
Go that way. You can go that way all night long.
Alrighty, so I'm going to hit the balance button and we will get this party started. As expected... Oh, wow, no, it put the two people with 0 cups on the same team? I may override this one.
Dragon and ATGB, or ATGYB and Chocobos. It's...
No, I know, but they put two people with 0 cups on the same team. I'm not sure that's balanced. I love you, Waystone, but that's pretty rough. I'm going to swap one of these people. Just because. I'm going to drop third person and Tim Bim. Well, Tim Bim's actually pretty solid. Let's see. We'll do the bro instead. There we go. We'll see what happens. Personally, I think that's a little more balanced, based from what I've seen from these people. All of these people have been playing, so we will see what happens. We will see what happens. If not, my apologies in advance, but that looks a little more appropriate.
Always bet on Dragon.
Unless he plays Ferris wheel. That Ferris wheel Ferris. That was crazy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the game. I mean, it could have been balanced. I don't know, but I'm gonna take a chance and say that it wasn't. But we'll see. If the mortal side totally destroys the spirit side, that is my fault, everyone. All apologies, but we'll see what happens.
It's interesting that third person man immediately went for the Vex Glad, and then we got USAShadow contemplating Ashabel.
Oh, well, USAShadow played Ashabel earlier and did pretty well. Yeah, Dragon jungle. They're trying to figure out who they're going to put where. We've got some interesting jungle options on the spirit side. I don't want to say anything yet until everything locks in, but totally viable. Totally viable if you're on the spirit side. That top pick is actually pretty dangerous. And actually, Zakent showed that on the Waystone stream earlier this week. So, but I have run into that in solo queue, and it wrecks.
And Sifu with the surprise Christmas package.
Yeah, a lot of the people that have been coming in regularly have been hitting the random button. And as long as it's not the hunter, and you're not the hunter and you're hitting random, then it's fine. That did not work out earlier with the hunter divs. Although that is a potential thing, but yeah. But the spirit side going just damage. And as odd as it might seem, it can totally work. Their comp can totally work. They have a couple different initiations there from Sifu and Shadow. So it just depends. And they can just really burst people down. So I am comfortable with what they're doing. I think on the mortal side, they're just kind of a pretty solid, something you'd see in the YOLO queue. So we'll see where they take it.
That's the dazzle queue. Get dazzled, yo.
Get dazzled. Oh, yeah. Get dazzled.
Oh, yeah. I'm really interested to see how Viana plays out.
God. So we were playing a game the other day, and we were going to do a 2v2 on stream with Michael was joining us. He was on one side, and it ends up me and one other person, and Michael's teammate has to leave. Like, their parents got onto them and told them they had to go. So Michael ended up 2v1ing us as Viana. It took us forever just to get that first binding down. That was the roughest lane I have ever had with a solo Viana, ever. But once we got the binding down, then we just kind of snowballed it. But it was still pretty rough.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alrighty. So, rocking out here, let's do a quick run through of what the loadouts are. Basco is doing a movement speed with armor loadout as in the jungle. That should be pretty interesting for him to get up on his targets. Kensu is running a Ravager loadout with defense pin, armor, and power. Mikella is running a mastery and power effectively loadout with some health thrown in for good measure. And Zeri is running a smattering of stats. It looks like with a brawler. We saw this earlier. Really helps to build that tankiness if somebody jumps on him. And the bro was like living every time he got caught out on Zeri because of this. It was pretty solid play. Ashabel running the basic default loadout, the one that you get just for starting up the game, and it works out just fine. Mortal Side trying to do a bit of an invade, or the Spirit Side trying to do a bit of an invade, but the Mortal Side pushed him out there.
And so Ashabel is running. Ashabel's running with 8.6 armor, a 4% life drain, 3.6 power, 1.2 defense, and Ravager. Keen Mass doing 0.4 power, mastery, 3 defense, 8 haste, 10.5% power, 1% ability cooldown, and 5% haste.
That's a lot of stuff.
That is. That's the kitchen sink right there. It's Viana is running with the 19 armor, the 44 health, 5% haste with Warden, so that's pretty decent. Would have probably wanted... I have almost that same build up, but I run with the magic resistance instead of haste, just for more survivability.
Yeah, but the percentage haste tells me that she's going to build more haste so that she can keep her abilities up as often as possible, and they kind of need that because she's one of their main initiators since they don't have a tank.
Yes, definitely on that. Varian is running 4.8 power, 6.4 haste, and duelist.
Vecnus, thanks for stopping by, man. Have a great night.
Vex, 2.8 power, 2.8 haste, 37.1 health, 4 armor, and duelist.
So pretty standard all around. Some have adjusted obviously to fit exactly a team like that. Viana definitely based off what the team's doing. We'll see if the rest works out. Not a whole lot of pressure right now. It does take the Ashabel a little time to get her clear on. She has actually, I believe, and I'm going to jump over there just to double check, but I believe she got counter jungled. Yep, got counter jungled and lost her armor. So that's going to slow her down a little bit in the jungle.
CS is pretty even with within 1 or 2 right now at the moment. It's interesting that the spells that everyone started off with.
Yeah. I mean, we see the dispel on the Kinsu, which, you know, considering there's a Viana with subjugation on the other team, that's actually a pretty good pickup. Also the fear off the King of Masks, that's going to work really well on those. Lots of blinks, and the Wither on the bro. I mean, he's going full defensive. I actually pick up Wither quite a bit, especially when I'm facing against like the Vex. Like, this is a double 80 carry comp, so Vex and Varian, that's going to help you out quite a bit. Dragain goes in on Timbim, doesn't quite have follow-up from anybody else. It came in pretty quick, and Timbim got right out of there.
Now Ashabel has already went back and bought. She picked up a hunger and another power. Viana still has not selected her spell.
Well, that's fine. Some people wait until they know absolutely what they need. They keep it hotkeyed. So they'll wait for a gank to come in, and then I'll pick something on the fly, or if they're in a bad situation. Ashabel kind of had to go back. She did not have the health to go take Money Pigs, and her armor had been counter jungled. She's a little behind on the clear. And ChocobosX taking out King of Masks in the top lane with some solid play. That's the combination you get there with a double slow in that lane. You get a slow off Mikela and a slow off Zeri if they both land. You're not getting away if you're pushed out too far.
And Zeri, of course, with her silence that can really cause issues like we just see right there. It is very irritating at times.
Wasn't Twerp going to join us in this game? He did not make it in. He must have been doing something else. Maybe we'll get him in another one.
Vex and Viana at the bottom lane do have him pushed up towards the tower pretty well.
Yeah, but both the junglers are going to show up here, and I think with the wave clear that the Spirit side has, they're going to keep them from doing anything. Basco showing on the well though, so we'll see. Ashabel's going to rotate up to try to push him out. I mean, there isn't anything else he can do. I think Basco just wanted to get that ward back down again so he could try to counter jungle over there as well. We see a fight break out. Uprising misses Shadow, though, and he blinks out. Dragain may still be able to catch him, and he does. He grabs it with the dash. Ashabel in a bad position here, though, as 3 people are going to be able to to collapse on her. Dragain is now 6, but again, he used his ult there and it didn't work. Good storm wall from Jason Snyder, but he just has no backup here, so he's just basically slowly walking his life away.
Spirit player has been slain.
Requiem, I hope you're joking. General rule of thumb for blink is get blink first spell is not true in Dawngate. You really do need to understand that you have to pick against what you're seeing, and blink isn't necessarily, because of its 5-minute cooldown, it isn't necessarily the best choice right away. Tailwind, if you're a support or that lane partner character, is pretty solid, but sometimes even as a lane partner, I will grab a Wither if what we really need is just to shut down burst damage, not necessarily get away. Like if we're on characters that have high mobility, there's really no need for a Tailwind. You can do the Wither, get some damage down, maybe turn a kill.
Kensu is doing really good on CS, but Vex is still staying in there with it. Varian compared to Michaela, Varian's down about 2 waves.
Clearing a path.
It is interesting that we see double AD carry on both sides here in this game. That doesn't happen often. And it is possible, it's viable. You can work it, but you don't see it. Sometimes you get a lot of flack for it in games, but it's completely fine. They have enough magic damage on both sides with the other characters to totally make it viable.
Vex went ahead and rushed an Ambition.
Is it possible to get Divine on a loss? Mathematically it is possible. Statistically it is improbable. It would have to be the luckiest rolls ever. As for figuring out what spells to take, we actually do have some flowcharts up at theshapersguild.com, courtesy of Dante Sangeli. You can look under the guides section and check for spell flowcharts. Depending on what role you're playing in the game, it has different paths for you to follow based off what you're seeing in your lane or what your team needs, and that can help new players out quite a bit.
Feeling Shadow really needs to be way more aggressive with Common to allow Varian to get forward.
Yeah, Himikia, I mean, it is, like I said, mathematically, it's possible to get a Divine on a loss. It's statistically improbable. Just because you have to have everything in alignment. You have to get the highest possible random roll. You'd have to get the highest possible amount of karma. You'd have to get like a 50-minute game. Like you have to get all of these crazy things all at the same time, and that just doesn't happen often. But ultimately, it would be up to Wasteland to say technically whether it's possible. Just mathematically, it does seem to be possible.
ATG YB is rushed an Ambition as well. It's Jason Snyder has picked himself up a Might and a Desire.
I shall be there present.
Dragon is still running with Resilience, Pride, and 2 lives. And Shadow picked himself up an Aggression.
Yeah, basic item purchases for this point in the game. It's nothing too crazy or unexpected. Jason Snyder trying to gank the top lane. Like, he does have a slow, he just doesn't have any solid CC. Basco trying to counter gank here. They might be able to get one, depending on... Nope, he doesn't land the Uprising. That's unfortunate. I think I probably would have just tried to lock the Ashabel down. That was the person that was closest to the team, even if they had a lot of health. It could have given him a decent follow-up in terms of damage. Ashabel sitting there with that long-range damage and just pushing him off still, too. It's pretty crazy.
And Ashabel did utilize that damage as well to take a huge chunk out of Dragon's health.
Yeah. So an interesting thing to do if you are jungling Ashabel, obviously what she's really going to bring is lots of damage to a fight. She brings a slow if she can land an ability, but once you get some damage built up to be able to help you clear, you can always pick up a Duress and use that to have that short route on whoever your first target is. We've seen that quite a bit on the mage characters lately. And yeah, Vito, we don't really for getting a divine on a loss, we need like a like either video proof or a screenshot. A screenshot actually it wouldn't even work because it wouldn't show what match you got. But video proof, just because it is so incredibly improbable to happen. But like I said, we do think it's possible. We just don't think it's probable. They did make some recent changes to the blessing system as well, and now you to try to get rid of just some of the just kind of basic rolls people were getting. People were getting the same stuff over and over in certain thresholds. So now you can get a lot more sparks. Hopefully the percentages went down on some of the other stuff as well. So that'll help things out a lot. Alright, so third person man trying to get a little damage down on this binding. Sifu posturing like he wants to do a dive, but probably not the best decision in the world. And it might get him killed. He does have to burn the ult. Heals him up enough with that to actually get him out of there. But he did have to waste an ult, which is probably not the best thing, since that's one of 2 initiation tools they have in the game for them. Looking through the item builds, Basco has finished his glory. Has 4 more green items to go with it. Pretty solid for a tanky Basco. Michaela almost pulling in Timbim. Final payment is not going to be able to do enough damage. Almost picks up Shadow, though. Shadow was trying to move in the way and block. Almost gave up his life. That would have been unfortunate. And the bro wants it. Wants it so hard, but that should be an easy pickup. Oh my god, no, he dies! Oh, and he blinks in, but doesn't get the kill. Oh, that was unfortunate. Really going ham there on the bro. That was pretty crazy.
Getting engaged on Ashabel.
Yeah, but Vex showed up and Dragain went nope. So Kensu's picked up an ambition and a power. You see that a lot as an early rush. Basco coming in behind Viana, and Vex isn't going to be able to help because he's getting shoved in by Kensu and Ashabel. Their own Ashabel comes out to try to help, but Sifu is going down this time. And, oh, double ult to pick up Jason Snyder as well. That was just unfortunate. They could have timed that a little better in terms of the ults, but they got the kill. I think that's all that matters.
Ashabel should have cut her losses and went ahead and backed away and let them have the buff.
Trying to, it wasn't even that. She just, the uprising really caught. She thought she was far enough away that she could harass. She does have some excellent long-range harass. But Basco got the, that blink by Chocobos. Basco got the reset on his uprising. And then even if he hadn't, Kensu had his ult as well. And you got to be aware of those long-range initiators. Michaela rushed a dominance in a time, which is that on-hit crit build, which is pretty, or that attack speed-based crit build. It's pretty awesome on Michaela. If you do that well enough, you don't even need armor penetration. Followed it up with an abolition. Zeri rushed, and I'm losing my mind. It's the prosperity and a purity. Ashabel went aggression and energy. Timbim gonna go down to the bro again. Possibly Dragain. We'll see what happens. It's just really close. He could pull off a juke here with his progress gate, but I don't think it's going to happen. The bro being smart, going around just in case he progress gated over the wall. Michaela, though, got the ult. Oh, that kill steal. I think Basco would have had that.
Wanted to join in on the fun there.
Yeah. The spirit side, Ashabel has picked up a might, a desire, and an aggression. Pretty decent all-around adjustment of stats. Probably going to rush into that decay, and then maybe a passion, and then hopefully a destruction. Pretty solid. The King of Mass just rusts a destruction, which makes him incredibly dangerous. And then Viana doing her Viana things with lots of health and regen, as they do. Varian picked up again an ambition, which is that standard rush a lot of times. I'm not a huge fan of that being first item, but people make it work. It also has an abolition to follow it up, and the Vex has an ambition and a clarity. So everybody's doing pretty similar things. Nothing outright crazy. All right, everyone, remember these are community casted games brought to you by the Shapers Guild. In between, after the matches, we'll put up a lobby. Anybody can join. You just have to drop the password in. We also give away... Oh, he misses the Chaos Shell. We also give away Crystal Waystone Wartskins in between matches as well. The Bro, again, this is that tanky build that he was working on. I don't know that it's going to get him out of this situation, but it's going to keep him alive long enough that he's really keeping these 3 people busy to let his carry get out of the way. The last time he did that, he was actually able to get away just about every time with that tanky build, but the rest of his team is not quite fed enough to be able to help him out in that regard. Overall, though, the Mortal side is doing quite a bit better in terms of experience. King of Masks on the Spirit side is only level 9, so he needs to get in there and get some XP to catch up with everyone. That's a couple levels behind everybody on the Mortal side.
Vasco went ahead and sold his Resilience and picked up Vigor and Freedom.
Oh, that blink to get out of the Uprising. That may keep Shadow alive there. Nope, it doesn't. Cam, smart Cam. What the heck? Like, that was the only thing going on that was anywhere near a kill, and it leaves, goes somewhere else. Shadow dies. We don't even get to see it.
Oh,
And yeah, Pork Chop's
great.
ambition is a mix of a small amount of stats for a very low Vim cost, and that's why it's so popular. I think it's almost too much armor to put on an 80 carry, because that can be the only thing you get, and then you can destroy a lane. It's pretty crazy.
Vex has went ahead and moved forward with building his Fate next, and so is he going to be moving into a Vengeance next or Resonance?
That's my spot.
For who? I'm sorry.
Vex, third person man.
Oh, he went ambition into Fate. I don't know that normally people don't go Resonance on the Vex, but it's possible. We'll see. Kensu with that Void Breaker locking him up, trying to get the kill on Sifu, might be able to pull it off, and they do. Dragain gets it under the binding. There's not a lot of health left on that binding. I think they need to focus on it.
Yeah, it looks like Dragon is moving around to... Oh, he has moved back.
Pull it down.
Common Varian has... They are fighting back for that tier 2 tower.
Oh, and he does another.
Vex is going down.
Picks him up, but Ashabel trying to come in, misses the slipstream, but may actually pick up the... Oh, no! USAShadow coming in and helping Dragain finish that off. That's rough. And this is kind of the downside of the comp that the Spirit side has. Without that tanky person to help initiate and just get in the face of people, it can be really rough at this point in the game. You really have to rely on just destroying people early, and then just getting so much damage that you can just melt someone like Dragain when he comes in. Oh, and they are diving past the bindings now at this point. They don't even care. They're going to go ahead and counter jungle this haste buff. And just kind of starve out the Ashabel even more.
There. Yes, I said progress great.
Progress great.
Don't judge my sex life.
Access to the sewers. So basically at this point it's just a lot of wave clear for the Spirit side.
No tips on
Kensu
par
apparently
yet.
hasn't shopped in a while. He's like, I got 6k. Yeah, he walks back and buys a casual Ruin and Fate at the same time. So that'll work. Dragain needs to actually go back and shop now. He's over 3k as well, but he's going to go ahead and try to make some more money off Jason Snyder over here. But Uprising in, and he's going to jump in and lock him up and finish him off. Jason's not getting out of that one. Now he's going to try to pick up Shadow as well. I'm not sure if he got the reset on his Uprising. Not sure it's going to matter. Let's see if the ticks on the chains make it happen. They do not. Shadow,
Vex
you need
and
to run,
Sifu are
boy.
moving around, and Vex is engaging, slowed. Do we see his ult? No, not yet.
Oh, and the ult off ChocobosX is going to... Onto ChocobosX is going to get him out of there fine while the Bro runs away. Again, the Bro has a ton of tank stats, so going to be just fine.
I feel that Vex launched his ult a little bit too late
Oh, Kensu coming in, and they're going to pick up Sifu. Probably going to walk third-person man down. That slow on the Kensu is pretty strong. You get a blink out of the Bro to get in there. And they're going to pick up Timbin potentially as well. Spirit team looking to surrender.
Spirit player
Yeah,
has been slain.
I'm saying at this point that's pretty solid. And yeah, they do accept.
Has surrendered.
They just got shoved out without anyone tanky to initiate. It was unfortunate. I think everybody played pretty well. Again, I thought I do apologize. I did think everything. I didn't think it was going to be balanced. Apparently, maybe the matchmaking was right, but it's not like it went overly ham except on Dragain for tons of kills. It's just that was a slow bleed that kind of kept everybody down.
Always bet on Dragon.
He does, except when he does the Ferris wheel.
Always bet on him, no matter what. In Vegas, odds, bet on him.
Bet on
Super
Dragain
Bowl,
for odds.
Bet on him.
Okay, give me 1 second here, guys, and we'll do another giveaway for you, and then we'll get another game up. I just need to check my messages to make sure I'm not giving the same one out. Outbox.
If your significant other leaves you, bet on Dragon.
Bet on Dragon.